Yep, there we go. Blue mic is on. Okay, yep, just waiting on Jimmy to start up the Friday Night Fun Night here in about 7 minutes or so. So stay tuned.
Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. And welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford. My name is Jim. My call is K9 GCR. I'm located here in Freeport. I'll be your host this evening. The purpose of having this net is what the name implies, to have fun. This is what this hobby ram radio is all about, in addition to providing emergency communications if when situation warrants. A secondary purpose of this net is to provide an on-air meeting place for all amateur radio operators. Everybody's welcome to check in. You do not have to be a member of any club, organization, group, or association to participate in this net. All you need is a valid FCC license. This net meets each and every Friday evening at 8 p.m. This repeater is a PL 114.8 plus offset. You need to have that program in your radio in order to have access to repeaters. For those who may be using older radios that do not have PL capability, or if the PL on your radio is not working properly, you can check into the Friday Night Fun Net by using the repeater output frequency of the straight 195 simplex. If I hear you, I will nod you and check you in the net. This is the Friday Night Fun Net for Friday, August 18, 2023. This net is being live streamed on around the world on the internet. Those of you who are listening on the internet, you wish to check into the internet like you usually do with Mike, KD9MED in Rochelle. He's live streaming this net, and he in turn will relay your internet check and do me via the radio. Also, he is recording this net for future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. When this net is posted later on tonight, you can listen to it again. Just go to the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page, follow instructions, and you're in business. Okay, here's what we're going to do. First of all, say a prayer for the people out in Maui, Hawaii. It's a sad situation. Death toll there's 111. It's expected to go much higher, it's sad to say. And pray for the ham radio operators. You know they're working there. You know what's off there, and for the situation. They've been for just over a week, about a week and a half now. So, okay. Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take a short time on mobile stations. If you have family stuff going on, you're at a constraint, you're driving, you can't stay for the net, we'll take your short time check-ins. And if you have traffic, you do your traffic right away. Also, after that, we'll take general check-ins. First, we'll take general check-ins in northern Illinois. Next, we'll take general check-ins in southern Wisconsin. After that, we'll take general check-ins from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin. When you check in the net, state whether or not you have traffic. If your traffic consists of breakfast, bike rides, marathons, or ham fest, then let's see. Then we'll do our regular features. We'll do the Friday Night Fun Net Tech Corner. Are you having a problem with your power supply or amplifier? What kind of an antenna you want to put up on your tower? What kind of a radio you want to buy? Base, mobile, all mode, FT8, DMR, or what have you. If you have any technical questions, please feel free to ask them. We'll do our best to try to answer them for you. Then we'll do the Friday Night Fun Net DX Corner. Did you make any DX contacts on any stations? If you did, we would sure like to hear about it. Also, we'll do the swap net. If you have any items to buy, sell, trade, or want related to hobbies or amateur radio or computer, we will do that. Tonight's topic. This is in reference to the article that Larry Ace 9GO and Rock and Roll in the Amrag magazine. But we're going to talk. Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class? We're going to do a survey. Yes or no? That's what we'll do. Okay. I also want to mention if you're out in the sticks, if you can hear the repeater, but you can't get into it because of you can't hear it. Conditions are not good, and you don't have internet access. Just give me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net Central online. Area code 815-232-FN-FN-232-3636. Local Freeport number. We'll take your check-ins over the phone, but try and check it on the radio first. K9 GCR, the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford. Okay, with all the so-called formalities out of the way, let's get underway. We have any short time mobilization you want to check it, please call now.
KC9 GCR. This is Alpha 9 Victor Uniform. Michael in Janesville. I don't have any traffic.
89VU, okay, Mike, I've got to say, I know you're short time, but before you go, I'm sure you've been a long-time ham radio operator. I know you have been. What do you think? Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class?
No, I don't really think that's something that we should do, because the technician class covers the beginner pretty well now. I haven't kept up with the changes, a lot of the new changes. I know there's new manuals out, but I just think that we should stick with what we have.
Okay, sounds good. We're just doing a survey. We're not. I'm not seeing an opinion one way or another. We just want to see what hams say about that. Okay, thank you for checking in there, Mike. You have a good evening. And okay, do we have any more short time mobilization you want to check in? Please call now.
Down in Beloit. Hi, Jimmy. I have no traffic tonight.
KD9KWR. Okay, Don and Beloit. Got a good signal tonight there, Beloit. Thanks for checking in. Thanks. You have a good evening. Thanks for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Any more short time mobilization you want to check it? Please call now.
K9FCJ Scott and Rockford short time.
N9SBJ. Scott and Rockford short time. Okay, I know your opinion. I know you're in favor of bringing back the novice class. So okay, that's okay. It's a tied 1-1. So okay, thanks for checking in, Scott. You have a good evening. Any more short time mobilizations you want to check in? Please call now.
KC9 QPL, Paul and Lewisburg, short time tonight, 73, be clear.
K9 QPL, Paul and Lowe's Park. Okay, Paul, I've got you checked in. You have a good evening. Thanks for checking in. Any more short time mobilizations that would like to check in? Please call now.
Hey. KC9NW, Tom and Roscoe. Short time, no traffic.
And no to the novice class licensing license. I'm in that, Jimmy, in that GLB.
Okay, I got two stations checked in. Dave, N9DLB, I recognize you, and okay. H9NW, Tom Roscoe, I've got you checked in. Thanks for checking. N9DLB, Dave here in Freeport, mile east of me. Okay, now what were you saying about the novice class? Are you in favor of it or not?
No. Leave it just like it is.
Okay, sounds good, Dave. Thanks for checking in.
I haven't in that GLB class.
Okay, are there any more short time mobilizations you want to check the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Any more short time mobilizations who would like to check the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
K9SAZ, Daniel Rockford, short time, no traffic.
KD9SAZ. Dan Rockford, I've got you checked in. Dan 73, have a good evening. We'll talk to you down below. Thanks for checking in. Any more short time mobilization you want to check in, please call now. Okay, let's go ahead with general check-ins. First, I'll take check-ins from Northern Illinois for the check-ins for the Friday Night Fun Day. Please call now.
KD9YBG, no traffic.
KD9YBG, Dale and Rockford, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Day? Please call now.
KD9MED, Kerry and Rockford.
KD9MED, Kerry and Rockford, the Duke of Digital DX. Okay, Kerry. I'll get back to you for a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins for the Friday Night Fun Day? Please call now.
KD9MED, Mike and Rochelle.
Okay, Mike, KD9MED and Rochelle, who's live streaming this net on the internet, also recording this for future rebroadcast, replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. Okay, thanks for checking in. And Mike, I'm sure we'll hear from you later on. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins in Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
W3MBX, Manton, Rockford, no traffic.
W3MBX, okay, man, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Day? Please call now. Okay, well, everybody must be out enjoying the weather before the heat comes. Hey, folks, our good weather's coming back. Oh, okay, a good solid week of it, too. Okay, no further check-ins in Northern Illinois at this time. I'll take any general check-ins from southern Wisconsin, the Friday Night Fun Day. Please call now.
KC9RGG, Norm in Orfordville, Wisconsin.
KC9RGG, Norm in Orfordville, Wisconsin. Okay, Norm, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from southern Wisconsin for the Friday Night Fun Day? Please call now.
Victor Echo 3, Sierra Romeo, Eugene, Beloit.
Hey, our neighbor to the north, Ontario, Canada. Okay, just hold on, Eugene. I'll check. Victor Echo 3, Sierra Romeo. Welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net, Eugene. This net meets each and every Friday evening at 8 p.m. here on this repeater. Let me, I'll go in and check you in. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Good to hear one of our check-ins from our neighbors to the north there. So, okay, any more general check-ins from southern Wisconsin for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Well, it is Friday night, fish Friday night in Wisconsin. Everybody's at their favorite bar, restaurant, tavern, or catfish, buffalo, carp, northern pike, walleye, muskie, crappies, bluegills. Those of you in the Milwaukee area, you're in your Polish sausages, hot dogs, bronze kielbasa, or Braunschweiger. You, of course, are cheese lovers, or eat some of that famous Wisconsin cheese. At this time, I will take check-ins from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin. Friday Night Fun Day. Please call now.
Kilo Charlie 9, Golf Oscar Lima.
K9GOL, Jim in Rockford. I've got you checked in, Jim. I'll get back to you in a few minutes for the roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin, the Friday Night Fun Day, please call now. Okay, there being no further check-ins, ladies and gentlemen, it is with the deepest regret that I announce the passing of Ed Higbee, Kilo Alpha 9, Mike, Papa, Charlie. He passed away on Sunday, August 6th. He was a long-time ham radio operator and a Dixon firefighter. Now, I don't know how many of you guys down in Ogle or Lee counties are listening, but if you are, I would like you're free to make any comments about this individual who passed away. Anybody would like to make any comments, please go ahead. Okay, at this time, I'm going to do a 1-minute all keys down moment of silence in honor of Ed Higbee, KD9MED. Afterwards, I will do a last call in his honor. We will now do a 1-minute all keys down moment of silence. Kilo Alpha 9, Mike Papa Charlie, KD9MED, Kilo Charlie 9, Golf Charlie Romeo. KD9MPC, KD9MPC, K-San GCR. No signal, K-San GCR. Ed, of course, I never knew you or got a chance to talk to you, but thanks to you for your service to this wonderful hobby, and thank you for your service to the Dixon, Illinois Fire Department. Your friends will be, not only will your ham radio family miss you, but so will your fellow firefighters and EMS, EMT personnel. May you rest in peace. Okay, we just did a 1-minute all keys down moment of silence and a last call in honor of Ed Higbee, Kilo Alpha 9, Mike Papa Charlie, longtime ham radio operator and member of the Dixon, Illinois Fire Department. Those of you who are new to the Friday Night Fun Net, when Brad, 89G, and I started this net back in 2008, we decided to keep this tradition going. After the Diana White, NF9I, ran for many years. She was net control of the old Monday night Rockford area 2-meter net. Every time a ham radio operator would pass away, she would do a 1-minute all-key sound movement of silence in that person's honor. So when that net went by the boards, and when we started the Friday Night Fun Net back in 2008, we decided to keep this tradition going. Okay, at this time, we have any more stations who would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net. Please go now. Okay, let's do the, I don't have any traffic. Does anybody have any traffic they'd like to pass along for the net? Oh, by the way, anybody going to the Winnebago County Fair tonight, take your AC with you when you get on the Ferris wheel. When you get to the top, hurry up and check in the net. Okay, now we're going to do our Friday Night Fun Net Tech Corner. Are you having a problem with the power supply or amplifier? What kind of a radio do you want? What kind of an antenna you want to put up on your tower? What kind of a radio do you want to buy? Base, mobile, all mode, MT8, APRS. If you have any technical questions, please feel free to ask them. We'll do our best to answer them for you. Anybody have any technical questions they'd like to bring before the net? Okay, no technical questions. We'll move on to the Friday Night Fun Net DX Corner. Did anybody make any DX contacts this week? Well, I did not listen. I did not make any contacts. So, okay. Anybody have any DX reports you'd like to pass along? KD9MED, Gary, did you make any DX contacts this week?
This is KD9MED. Oh, yes, I did, Jimmy. I was listening to the live stream, and that's on a bit of a delay, so I wasn't here to hear you call the DX corner. Okay, I was on the air for 7 hours this week. I made 77 contacts in 19 countries. I didn't get any new countries this week, but I do have a few of note. A brief reset. For me, the rarest one is HL3GOB. He's on the west coast of South Korea on 15 meters. All these are on 15 meters. I only have 3 Korean contacts, so that's a pretty valuable one to me. The most distant contact was YB3DCZ on East Java at 9,800 miles. Brief reset. I picked up another Chinese contact, BG7NF, and he's in Guangzhou. Right in the middle of probably the biggest megalopolis in the entire world now. If you look at a modern map of the Pearl River Delta and see how built out it is, and how many highways they have there, and shipping ports and stuff, it's astonishing. Brief reset. I had a contact with W2T on 40 meters. This special event station is celebrating the world's largest teapot, which is a roadside attraction in Newell, West Virginia. Now, Jimmy, geography question. back when we were kids, there was a different name for Guangzhou. You remember what that name was? KD9MED.
Let me think. Was it Nanking?
No, this Guangzhou, it doesn't even sound like that very much. I mean, it's 2 syllables, but you'll remember it when you hear it.
Okay. Shanghai?
No, it's Canton. Canton? I don't know how you pronounce it. Canton. I remember that from when I was a kid, and I wouldn't have ever connected it with this city. So, names and stuff is always changing. Borders always shifting around. Very challenging for logging purposes. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. KD9MED.
Oh, Canton, yeah, I know, sure, yeah, that's right near Hong Kong, yes. Well, I know, of course, you know, Beijing used to be Peking. Well, I knew that, it was Peking, and only in recent years they changed it to Beijing, the capital.
Yeah, they'll change it again in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, thanks for your DX report. Oh, oh boy, by the way, I just remembered something here. Where did I, oh boy, what did I do with that? It happened to do, okay, I see. 7088 megahertz. If you tune into that frequency, and wouldn't you know it, I don't have it right in front of me. Here it is. Yes. Mike, the K9MED gave us that information. It's it's http://MauiSDR.com/8074. The frequency is 7088 megahertz, 40 meters lower sideband. You want to tune to that frequency, you want to listen to any information about what's going on in Maui. Also, I got this information from Scott K9YI on the Green County Areas Region that last Sunday. There's another frequency, 14.183 megahertz, 20 meters of lower sideband. I think at 5:15 hours Zulu, every night they're supposed to have a net. I tuned into both frequencies, and I never heard anything. So I just thought I'd pass along that information to everybody. Okay. Does anybody, Gary, thanks for that DX report, made a lot of contacts. Does anybody else have any DX reports they'd like to pass along at this time? Okay, now we'll go ahead with the SWAT net. All IMC box order trade must be related to hobbies, RAM trading, or computers. All IMC box order trade must be the property of or in possession of the person who wants to get rid of the stuff. They may mention the price over there, but it actually should take place either in person or over the telephone. Also, no commercial business of any kind is allowed. Does anybody have any SWAT net traffic they'd like to pass along at this time? Roundtable, where I'm doing a survey and asking a question. Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class of ham radio? if you read the Hamrag article written by Larry, H9GO, he had lots of suggestions, and one suggestion was bringing back the novice class. He said taking the ham radio examinations nowadays is like it was back in his day when he was taking it. So that's the question that we're asking now. So okay, let's see. First of all, Dale, KD9YBG. I know you're a new ad, so you probably don't have any opinion one way or another. But are you in favor of bringing back the novice class?
KD9YBG. Well, for the technician class, I mean, you get your license, and then if you want to go on to learning Morse code, which I do want to do eventually, you can do that then. I don't know if the novice class, if you have to, also know that, while you're getting your test, and if you are, I don't see what the advantage of getting it other than maybe you can say I went through the extra effort, but later on you can always do it too. So to me, I guess it don't make any difference. KD9YBG, back to net.
Okay. It sure would be nice to hear from some of the old timers in this hobby, see what they have to say about that. Okay. Thanks for bringing us your comments there, Dale. KD9MED, you've been a ham radio operator for a long time. What do you say? Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class?
Is that for me, Jimmy?
Yes. I was asking a question. As I was saying, you've been a ham for a long time. What is your opinion? Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class?
I haven't given it any thought, and I didn't read the article you're talking about by Larry. Can you give me the reason why a novice class is being sought? I mean, what is the problem that they're trying to solve?
Okay, just I got the Hamrag in front of me right now. Kurt KD9MED sent it to me in the mail. He's got a lengthy article. He says I'm out of date. I'm just trying to see if I can find it here. It's a rather lengthy article. It's about two pages long. I'm trying to find here. Bear with me. Okay, I'll find it. Let's see. All right. Here he says we have reached the point where the technician license of today is probably closer to the general class license of the 50s than the first license at that time, which is a novice class license. He says we need to bring back the novice class license so that the young people of today can get an easier start in this great hobby of ours. The FCC has given out a couple of licenses for radios that do little or nothing for communications of the future.
Okay, well, he's looking for an easier test. Have we heard from any people who have said, gosh, I would love to be a ham radio operator, but that technician class test is just too hard for me? Has anybody ever said that?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard of anybody say any complaints about the technician's examination or test.
All right, well, I mean, if that's the problem that's purportedly to be solved, I don't see the evidence that the problem exists. But I'm really indifferent one way or the other, Jimmy. I mean, the only downside I can see to it is that means that a ham radio operator would have 4 rungs to climb to get to the top instead of just 3 rungs to climb. I mean, that's a minor disadvantage, but that's one that I can think of. But, overall, I'm indifferent. KD9MED.
Okay, I'm just getting everybody's opinion one way or the other. I'm not taking sides either way. I'm just doing this for fun. By the way, this is K9 GCR for Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater and Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Central and Freeport. Okay, Kerry, thanks for your input, and we'll just see how far we go along here. KD9MED, Mike in Rochelle. I know you've only been in this hobby for a short time, but what do you say, one way or the other? Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class?
KD9MED here. Well, I would say yeah. I mean, in one respect, I would say yes, and I'm pretty sure that even my parents and probably relatives and whatnot have all had to use the novice class to obtain their license. I would think so. In the end, that'd probably be an okay idea to bring it back. This is KD9MED, back to net.
Sounds good, Mike. Okay. Thanks for your input. We'll move on. Here. W9AXD. You've been a ham for only a short time. What are your comments? Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class?
KC9GCR, W3MBX, yeah, probably not. I'm pretty new at this, so I don't know what used to be. But if it does happen, then I'm kind of where Kerry is. You got 4 rungs to climb, but if they do that, then give them the option to do the novice or the technician, and maybe give a little bit more HF privileges to the technician. So they can get their feet wet in that while they're studying for their general if they want to, and then just the novice, have it just be really VHF, UHF, kind of like the tech is. But I don't really have an opinion on it because I don't know the history of it. Frankly, I don't really want to know all that history. I'm looking forward at. I'm studying for my extra now, and so that's just where I'm at. Back to net.
Okay, so I understand where you're coming from there, Matt, I really do. Okay, by the way, what's the word? Did Tony's license go through yet?
Not yet. I texted him, I don't know, just the other day. It didn't come through, and I went online and just punched it up to see if it actually came through. Maybe he didn't get an email yet, but no, it's not out there yet.
Okay, sounds good. Well, who knows? Maybe you'll get it tomorrow. When I got my CB license in the mail back in 1975, it came on a Saturday. I think it was right around Pearl Harbor Day. It came because I applied for it in October and it came in December. It took me 8 weeks. And what was Larry K9KZT was telling me? That's how long it took to get his first ham radio license back in 1958, 59. He applied for it in 1958, and it came in the mail in 1959. So about 8 weeks. So sounds good. Okay, thanks, Matt. Thanks for checking in. Norm, KC9RGD. What do you think? Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class?
KC9GCR, KC9RGG. Jim, I'm a definite no on bringing back the novice class. I was very interested in amateur radio way back in the 1950s, and as I understood it back then, the novice class was created because everybody had to know Morse code, and the novice class had a code rate of 5 words per minute to pass. And if you wanted to be a general, you had to be able to do 13 words a minute. Quite a leap. So they created the 5 words a minute, and that allowed people entry, and they could broadcast for a year and then upgrade. But there's no code requirement anymore, and I think the technician class license is very good the way that it is right now. The question pool is published. Everybody can study it, and you have to know the regulations, and that's the most important thing. KC9GCR, KC9RGG.
Okay, Norm, sounds good. Thanks for your information. Okay, by my count, it's 4 to 2 no in of novice class. So 4 stations say no. Only 2 stations said yes. So okay, Norm, thanks for checking in. I better let you go so you can hit the hay. Now let's see if our neighbor to the north is still on the air. Victor Echo 3, Sierra Romeo. Okay, now what kind of a system what kind of classes of ham radio operators do you have in Canada?
This is Victor Echo 3, Sierra Romeo. My name is Eugene. I'm now in a hotel room here in Beloit on a business trip here. My QTH is near Toronto. Well, in Canada, there is not such slightly different classes. We got a basic qualification. We have a basic with honors, and we have advanced, and on the top of that, the Morse code. Basic is just only access to all amateur bands above 30 megahertz. Basic with honors. You can access all amateur bands, restricted power. Advanced, it's like extra in the USA. And, well, coming back to basic, so we have no such thing as a novice or whatever. But I wouldn't mind, for me it's not a problem. I'm quite good in CW, so of course I'll be missing some other bands like 20 meters or whatever, but I will be quite okay. Happy rating on 40, on 80 or whatever, so it's allowed in the USA with the CW. This is Victor Echo 3, Sierra Romeo.
7-3's Eugene. Thank you for checking into the Friday Night Fun Net. I don't know if I'm sure at your home QTH near Toronto, I'm sure you have a computer, and this net is being live streamed around the world on the internet. If you want information, Mike, KD9MED, Kilo Delta 9 Mike, Echo Delta is recording, is live streaming this net around the world on the internet. He is also recording this net for future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. So I don't know if you have Facebook or not. If you do, you can listen to the net. This net will be posted later on tonight. You can listen to this net or past editions of the net all day, every day, or all night, every night, if you so wish.
Okay, very good. Thanks a lot for the information. Really enjoying to participate in the net today. Back to net control.
7-3, Eugene, thanks for checking in. All right, KC9GOL. Okay, well, we heard your comments the other night. But let's, for the benefit of this net, what do you say about the novice class?
Good evening, Jimmy, and the rest of the people on the net. This is KC9GOL. I guess my decision is that if you were going to leave the novice class where you had to pass the Morse code first, and then you took your paper test, and if you didn't pass the code, you didn't take your paper test, and you didn't get a license. And if you were going to keep it as CW on 80, 40, and 15, and that if you were going, I believe they had voice for above 2 meters. I'm a little
shaky on whether 6 was included or not. But above 2 meters, you were allowed voice. If they're going to leave it that way, fine, they can have it. But if you're going to use it as dumbing down the questions and not have the code to let people in, I'm going to tell you no, definitely no. And, you know, you guys are talking, you and a couple other people are always talking about what you can do to get more people in. Well, the thing is just because you got more people in doesn't mean you're going to have quality people. So the idea is you should be looking for the quality people, and if you get a few of them in, that would be better than quantity. KC9GOL, back to net control.
And this is K9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford, transmitting from Friday Night Fun Net, Central Area Report. Okay, Jimmy, good thought, good thought. I understand where you're coming from. Okay, that concludes my list. We have any more stations you want to check into the Friday Night Fun Net? Are you coming over your Friday night fish fry, steak fry, grocery shopping, or the show? If you just turned your radio on or been copying the mail for the last 45, 46 minutes, it's your chance to check in the Friday Night Fun Net from everywhere in the region. With route traffic, please call KC9GCR.
KC9GCR, this is KD9QVB, Brian in Roscoe with no traffic.
N9ZXK, Bob here, Freeport, Jimmy, about a mile west of you. No traffic.
KD9EPZ, short time, I got company.
Okay, got 3 stations checked in. K9QVB, Brian and Boyd got you checked in. I'll get back to you. N9ZXK, Bob and here in Freeport, mile west of me, got you checked in. Thanks for checking in. And Al, K9EPZ, short time. You know you got company. Okay, Al. Hey, thanks for checking in. If we don't catch you later on, we'll catch you on the RadioNet tomorrow night. Brian, thanks for checking in, Al. K9QVB. We're talking about, we're asking the question. Are you in favor of bringing back the novice class to ham radio?
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. This is KD9QVB. I don't know anything about what the differences were between technician and novice, and you know, I've only been in ham radio a short time, and it was 3 levels basically. So I started as a technician, now I'm general. So you know, and I did like the increase from technician to general, and the ability to work more frequent. I really don't know what the novice did for people, so if it was equal to a technician, I don't see a need to bring it back. I don't know if that answers your question completely or not. Over.
Okay, sounds good. Well, on the Hamrag magazine, Larry, H9GO had an article in there. It's a 2-page article. He suggested bringing back the novice class, so the young people of today who are getting into this ham radio operator could get a better idea. For sure. If you probably can pick that up on your internet or whatever, you can read that article. I thought that'd be a good topic for tonight's net. Brian, thanks for checking in there and bring your comments. Bob, N9ZXK. Now, we talked about this last night or whatever. What do you say about bringing back the novice class?
Well, I got a number of different things, Jimmy. One, if you're going to bring it back, then give it, you know, make it an entry level like the technician was when they brought the technician, you know, because when I took my test, it was only a couple of years after they dropped the no code, and you had to do the novice test, and you did the technician to get on the air. All right, and
I heard a gentleman saying earlier that the general test, the technician test now is like the general of the old, okay? And I kind of agree with that, because there's a lot of questions in there that kind of refrains to more technical than what it used to be when I got my test. I took my test in '95, all right? But, you know, I can't see adding a code to the novice if they brought it back, only because it'd be a step backwards in what they're going now. And everybody wants to know the code. And if you're going to do that, you know, like the ones on this that make, you know, make code included into it, you know, like 5 words a minute, whatever you said there, but that's going to take a step backwards, and I think it's going to defer more people. I kind of like to leave it the way it is right now, the 3 levels, because when I got my license in '95, you had the novice, the tech plus, general, advanced, and extra. And I think making the 3 levels to get to the top there and everything is more achievable for some people. Like, I know you remember Dave Wing. You know, he never wanted to go to extra because he pretty much had the same privileges that he had as being an advanced. You know, would he ever done it? He probably would have, maybe eventually after he retired when he did, but you know, he's no longer with us. But I say leave it the way it is, and if you do anything to get more people involved in it, put some of the questions, that more technical stuff, into the general class. You know.
Comment.
Okay, sounds good there, Bob. Station with a comment, go ahead.
Yeah, this is KD9QVB, Brian again. It's interesting, I didn't know about this article, but I was talking to another ham guy the other day, operator, and we were talking about ideas to get younger people on board, because that's the challenge, is getting younger people. I'm considered probably kind of younger to the hobby when I look around, you know, and so I even said there ought to be a way that if somebody's under 18, that there is no charge for them to take the test and get a license, because you want to remove every obstacle. And I think if a young person is interested enough to study and all that, they won't even take the test if they're not going to study, probably. But if they study and they take the test and they pass it, I think they ought to get a license at no charge. Over.
I kind of like that idea. Sounds good. What do you think about that, Bob?
The whole thing, you got to get motivation to make people, you know, get people to do that. You know, and you know, it's one thing that deterred me from not taking the ham test years ago, back when Dave and Keith did. You know, that's Dave. I talked to Dave. You know, and we're talking about a silent key here. That was a very good friend of mine. I grew up with him. But you know, I didn't want to learn the code. You know, my hearing it's not bad, but I'm kind of, a lot of tones sounds the same to me, so I would never have passed it to begin with back then. But yeah, you know, to get them in, let them go as far as they want. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. You know, if you're under 18, offer your first license free.
Sounds good. That sounds good. Anybody else want to comment about this?
9-0.
N9ZO. Good evening, Richard. What do you have to say about the novice class?
Well, from my observing of people and being on different boards and stuff that I have been over the years, is it's a changing society, and to bring back the novice, in my opinion, would be an insult to the younger people, because they're 10 times smarter than we ever would be at 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, 18 years old. And like some people have said, if don't have an interest in it, you're not going to care about it. And if they didn't charge for it, it'd be just like the CB days. You know, the first time we bought them, we had to pay for them. Then they opened it up and it got terrible. So I would say everything the way it is just fine, and let it be like it is and shake out the way it's gonna, because volunteerism or interest in any and everything right now is almost null. And if you belong to a church or club or an organization, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard to get new members or volunteers all around the country. So I think what we got, we should preserve and take care of it. And if you really want to get people in, be a mentor. Take somebody under your wings and work with them 4, 5, 6 hours a week until they can be proficient and pass a test. And 9-0.
Okay, Richard, you got a point there. Yes, a mentor is right, or have someone to be an elder. That's what happened to me with the late great Al Reslab, KB9SGW. He's the one who got me into this hobby. He did a great job. He prepared me to take
the code test. If we pass that, they let us go over and do the written test. And if we passed the written test, then it was up to 11 or 12 weeks later before you got your license in the mail. So it's a whole lot easier for everybody right now. But again, the gentleman just brought up, motivation's not there with people. If they want to do it, they'll find a way. And 9-0.
You got a good point, Richard. Thank you very much for that. Before we get more check-ins here, anybody else want to comment?
KD9MED.
Yeah, go ahead, Kerry.
Oh, a couple ideas popped into my head. First of all, if there's anybody out there who wants to take the test but is daunted by the cost or the studying, I want to recommend a website. It's ARRL Exam Review, and it's free. It's got all the study materials. It's set up so that it's easy for you to drill the test. There is memorization necessary for this because the rules and the regulations are arbitrary. There's no organic reasoning behind them, so you have to drill it. Free preset. But my point is that all the materials are there for free. They're easy to use. They're available whenever you want. Check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. You'll find that the test is easier than people are making it sound. And I have another comment too. If the idea is to put radio communications into the hands of every man without an exam, well, the option is already there. It's called Citizens Band. And there are other radio technologies that have come along that I believe don't require an exam. Is it correct that GMRS does not require an exam? And also, we have an emerging technology called LoRa, which doesn't require any licensing whatsoever, and it's going to get big in the near future, very big. It's kind of a small-scale cellular network that operates on the ISM band. Brief reset. You have an easy study option, and you also have options that don't require any kind of studying at all if you want to get into radio. Does anybody know if GMRS requires an exam? Thanks a lot. KD9MED.
K9MED, case on G-Sharp. That I couldn't tell you. I do know you do have to get a license. But as far as GMRS, I don't know. Anybody who works GMRS, does anybody know do you have to take an examination or not?
GOL, comment.
Go ahead, GOL.
There is no test for it. You just basically have to buy your license or pay the fee to get the license.
Okay, sounds sounds good. Thanks very much. Kerry, did you copy that?
Yes, I did. That was what I thought. So there's a good option for people who don't want to have to go through the effort of taking an exam. And for emergency communications, don't discount Citizens Band. If we get into a real national disaster, I can't see any reason why Citizens Band won't be an important element of the emergency communications response. We despise CBers, right, because we're hams. But believe me, if the rubber meets the road, it'll have a big role to play. KD9MED.
Amen.
Thanks, Kerry's comment. Go ahead.
K9ZO. If my memory is right, I believe even ham radio underneath of a severe crisis or problems, a citizen can pick it up and use it or communicate for emergencies the same as he has the right and the ability to use a squad car or a fire radio or anything else under a critical and emergency situation. So, like I say, and like he just said, GMRS is out there. You got another one I see coming along. ICOM's going to make another radio that's not going to require a license. And again, it's up to the individual. If you don't have the desire and the motivation to do what every comment, there's been a lot of good comments tonight. There should be no reason. Well, you're two young lads that are waiting. Tony's waiting on his license, and the other fella, look at what they took up from just listening and took the initiative. And again, a couple of them, they had a mentor, Mark, I believe it was, and one got his license, waiting on it, and the other one. So that's out there. If you want to do it bad enough, you'll find a way to get it done. And the only thing we can do is try to talk it, promote it, but we can't force people to do it. K9ZO.
Good point there, Richard. Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah, I was a CB operator back in the 70s. I used to monitor Channel 9 for the Illinois State Police and the National Emergency Aid Radio, or NEAR as we called it. Whenever I had to monitor Channel 9, we lived about a mile north of Route 20 in the small town of Rydon. I monitored Channel 9 all the time. If they couldn't raise if anybody had traffic, if they couldn't raise Steve, the county sheriff, or the Illinois State Police, I broke in there. They told me what the situation was, and I wrote and I called the proper law enforcement agency, whether it was an accident or a car in the ditch, disabled motorists, especially during snowstorms. I know that Channel 9, yes, that's definitely well, I knew many years ago there was some guy in North Park. They call it Winnebago County Ham. He was not a ham radio operator, and I think it was helping assist motorists. That's what they stood for. He was in North Park. I could hear that guy. That signal was really boomed in. He was calling, helping people in distress and what have you.
Last comment, Jimmy. I think you know a guy real well that I know. He had a mentor, and he got his technician license, and I don't know how many years he swore up and down he was never going any further. What he had was satisfied, was beautiful, but today I think he's a general, and he's running a Friday night net, isn't he?
Yeah, Richard, you're right. I'm the guy.
Comment.
Comment, go ahead.
Yeah, the one guy was just saying there about I don't remember who it was, but you can use the radio in an emergency and stuff like that without a license. We had that happen right here in Jimmy, right? It happened here in Freeport. I know you remember Jake. He's always talking sideband. Well, he got that one radio that he had converted over to use on CB, but that's besides the point. A lot of people did it back then, and he was listening to one of the ham bands, and he heard some people talking, and they was looking for help. They was in one of the mountain ranges up there in Northern California. They got the vehicle stuck in a snowstorm, and they was out of gas. The battery is about dead. He got their phone number to call his wife and tell her where she was at. She called the local sheriff department, and they rescued him. He had an article in the Freeport paper about it, and even one of those ham magazines had an article about it, what he did there. That was many moons ago. I'm talking about the middle 70s.
This is K9GCR to Friday Night Fun and the K9RFD Repeater and Rockford transferring for Friday Night Fun at Tether and Freeport. Yeah, the IC went off during the last transmission there, Bobby. Oh, yeah, Jake, I knew him. Yes, I used to talk to him on these ham radio bands. Sad to say, he's a silent key now. I remember him, yes.
Well, Jake passed before they got the no code there, but he just talked to him on CB there. Yeah, you know, and then some ham operators locally here, they filed a complaint to the FCC what he did. Nothing ever happened out of it because, you know, there's that clause in there where he can sit back and he can, you can use the equipment in the means possible, you know, like that. So, yeah, I remember that because it was in the Freeport paper about it, and you know, it was in the paper out there about it because they sent the articles to him. He kept in contact with them for a number of years. I mean, there was 4 people in the car, and they all would have died if, you know, it wasn't for him hearing their call there. You know, and just, I mean, it was stuff like that happens, you know.
Yes, in an emergency situation, it doesn't matter if you're, you can't get into any kind of trouble. If it's an emergency situation where whatever kind of, whatever frequency range you're using, even if you're not allowed to use that, if an emergency comes up, you can take that call. That's all there is to it. People, I'll tell you what, this is fun. We're going to keep the net going, but there's a lot of great discussion, great argument there, and that's what I was hoping for when I chose this topic. It was like, I think during the Tuesday night held in TechNet they were talking about this. So, well, we'll probably keep this discussion going here. Right now, I want to see if we got any more stations. Any more stations would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now.
KD9YHC, John in Loves Park.
KD9YHC, John in Loves Park. Goody, let me put you down. KD9YHC. John, welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net. This net meets each every Friday evening at 8 p.m. here on this repeater. Welcome to the hobby of Rams Radio. How long have you been in this wonderful hobby?
I've been here a couple months, Jimmy. We talked a while back, and I've been kind of radio shy the past couple months, so not necessarily new.
I understand. That's the way it is for some people. They're mic shy. I understand. I know this topic probably doesn't mean anything to you, but we were talking about bringing the novice class back to ham radio. So, but I know this, like I said, probably doesn't mean anything to you. But you got a good, beautiful signal coming into the repeater.
Oh, good to know. Yeah, I've been kind of eavesdropping on your thing here. I kind of agree with what one gentleman was saying a while back about the not necessarily the quantity of individuals, but more kind of the quality, and that'd be kind of the boat I'd be sitting in as well.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, if you have any thoughts about it, go ahead and share them with us. This is the Friday Night Fun Net. We talk about anything here.
Jimmy asked John why and how he decided he wanted to get into it. That'd be good for the discussion.
Yeah, you got a point, Richard. John, what made you decide to get into this wonderful hobby of Rams Radio?
I'm an electrical engineer by degree and just simply a nerdy person in general. So I kind of naturally gravitated over to the world of RF.
Okay, sounds good. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Years back, I don't know how it is today, but when you were a ham radio operator and put that on an application for a job, it carried a lot of weight, right, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, you ain't a kidding it, Dad, you bet.
I think you might want to look it up, but if my memory's right, I think we only got one, maybe two ham radio operators left in the Senate and the House of Representatives of the federal government. And back when we got ours back in the 50s and 60s, we probably had a close to 25 or 30 people who had just come back from World War II, and they helped us and fought for us on ham bands. Now, the big AT&T and them are trying to take away our bands. I heard they was talking the other day, they want to take away half of one of our HF bands to put it into use for commercial. So, guys, just beware. If you don't use it, we're going to lose it. And 9-0.
Oh yeah, we gotta save our bands. That's for sure. John, K9YHD, you have any comments about that?
Yeah, I understand where that's coming from. It is. I'm not going to be so bold as to say a dying hobby, but there's not a lot of people my age kind of into this stuff. They talk a lot about, you know, their grandparents and the great-grandparents having a radio in the basement and stuff. But I'm like, oh, they got a radio, you know, let me go play with it, where a lot of people my age aren't kind of the same way. They're used to cell phones and emails and this and that, and I'm like, well, you know, we don't, you lose cell tower power, so on and so forth. Ham radios will always work.
You know that's the case out in Maui. They still don't have internet, cell service, or what have you. You know the ham radio operators are definitely working their tails off. I'll tell you what. I don't know where you would tune in on your internet for amateur radio newsline. They put out it's usually put out on every Friday. On our SWAT net, we have at 8 p.m. on the 147-390 repeater. And here at Freeport, PO 114.8 plus us at Mel K9RFD broadcast the amateur radio newsline. But that's from Friday of the previous week. This the one that came out today. I'm sure that there's a lot of information about the Maui fire and what have you. But yes, people think your internet and their cell phones are going to be around forever. No way, Jose. It was demonstrated in Maui, and last year during the two hurricanes, your internet and your cell phone will go down, and that's where ham radio comes in.
GOL comment.
Go ahead, GOL.
Okay, Jimmy, this is something I've been thinking about all day today because somebody went to use their handheld and it didn't work. They had forgotten to charge it. So I guess one of the things you could ask people on the different nets and things is how many people actually have a battery pack that replaces the rechargeable battery on their handheld. Because if you're depending on recharging it and you don't have power to recharge the batteries, you can find alkaline batteries just about any place. And you can even, the newer batteries can be stored up to 12 years. So with that, when you're talking about everything going down and ham radio working, yes, it does by the people that are prepared. But I know a lot of people that have handhelds, and none of them have a battery pack that uses alkaline batteries or, a AA battery in them. Back to you, Jimmy.
This is K9 GCR, the Friday Night Fun, on the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford, transfer from Friday Night Fun to Central and Freeport. Oh yeah, 3 weeks ago when we had that power failure here at when we had those storms go through. I spent a good part of the day in the dark. I had my flashlights going, installing the batteries in my my HDX202. Then in my weather radios in my scanner. So that was about it. Definitely a good question. Okay, hey, John, KD9YHD. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Oh, by the way, John, you on the QST magazine, which I got a couple of days ago, there's an article. It's on the front page. Ham radio goes to high school. There's an article, a 2-page article about there's a ham radio club somewhere in Pennsylvania. It's organized and run by high school students. There are 75 members in that club. There are diverse groups of students. They explain the reason why they want to get into this hobby. Some of them are like they want to get involved in electrical engineering and what have you. There too. John, if you get a chance to see that article on your internet or whatever, that's a very good article. I get the print version of the magazine. I don't have a computer. I don't know how to operate one. But that's definitely a good article. You might be interested in seeing.
Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, I'll certainly take a peek for it.
And we got 2 high school students in the area. One is Tony and Matt. Tony passed his test. It'll be about 2 weeks ago tomorrow. He and Matt go to Harlem High School. They're both camp counselors at Camp Winnebago. I first talked to them on field day this year, and I also I had the pleasure of meeting both of them 2 weeks ago. So Tony's license will come any day now. But see, there a lot of younger people are getting into this hobby. Okay, I'll tell you what, John, I'm going to let you go. I got to see how many more check-ins we get here. This is a great discussion we're having tonight, folks. John, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your weekend. Are there any more stations who want to check in at this time? Please call now. Okay. Right in front of me, you got a book put on by Radio Shack. Now you're talking. You're all you need to get your first ham radio license. This book was published in the early 1990s. Published by Radio Shack in conjunction with ARRL. There's a whole chapter, and then novice, element 2 question pool with answers. I'm going to read just for the heck of it. We're going to read some questions and from the novice class. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. If I can find one question. Okay. All right. One moment, please. One moment, please. Oh boy. All right. Here we go. Find the first question. If you have a novice license, how many transmitters may you control in your station at the same time? A, only one at a time. B, only one at a time except for emergency communications. C, any number. D, any number as long as they are transmitting on different bands. If you have a novice license, how many transmitters may you control in your station at the same time? A, only one at a time. B, only one at a time except for emergency communications. C, any number. D, any number as long as they are transmitting on different bands. Anybody have a correct answer to this question? Okay. If you have a novice license, how many transmitters may you control in your station at the same time? The correct answer is C, Charlie. Any number. Okay, let's find another one here. Well, I'm sorry, a lot of the old timers are not listening to this net tonight. They get a kick out of this. All right, let's see if we can find another. All right. We'll find another one here. Oh boy. All right, okay. Oh boy, I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to find the right, here we go, All right. What minimum examinations must you pass for a novice amateur license? A, a written exam, element 1A, and a 5 WPM or word per minute code exam, element 2A. B, a 5 WPM or word per minute code exam, element 1A, and a written exam, element 3A. C, a 5 WPM code exam, element 1A, and a written exam, element 2. D, a written exam, element 2, and a 5 word per minute code exam, element 4. What minimum examinations must you pass for a novice amateur license? A, a written exam, element 1A, and a 5 WPM code exam, element 2A. B, a 5 word per minute code exam, element 1A, and a written exam, element 5A. C, a 5 word per minute code exam, element 1A, and a written exam, element 2. D, a written exam, element 2, and a 5 word per minute code exam, element 4. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
Well, GOL is going to go with C, and my reasoning for it is you had to pass the code, the 5 words per minute first, and then you would have taken 1A. I'm a little fuzzy on 2A, but I'm going to go with C, and that's my reasoning.
You are correct, Jimmy. You are correct. What minimum examinations must you pass for a novice amateur license? Correct answer is C, Charlie. A 5 word per minute code exam, element 1A, and a written exam, element 2. Okay, Jimmy, you did good. Let me see if I can find another one here. I picked up this this book there at the May swap meet in Social Camp Winnebago. It was the weekend before Memorial Day. All right. Okay. We're in. We'll find it. We'll find it here. All right. Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to, okay. Okay. These are not novice questions, but in the light of what we were talking about earlier with that emergency communication. When may you use your amateur station to transmit an SOS or Mayday? A, never. B, only at specific times at 15 and 30 minutes after the hour. C, in a life or property threatening emergency. D, when the National Weather Service has announced a severe weather watch. When may you use your amateur station to transmit an SOS or Mayday? A, never. B, only at specific times at 15 and 30 minutes after the hour. C, in a life or property threatening emergency. D, when the National Weather Service has announced a severe weather watch. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
K9RFD, C is in Charlie.
You are correct, Al. You are correct. When may you use your hamster station to transmit an SOS or Mayday? Correct answer, C, Charlie, in a life or property-threatening situation. All right, I'll read the next question. When may you send a distress signal on any frequency? A, never. B, in a life or property-threatening emergency. C, only at specific times at 15 and 30 minutes after the hour. D, when the National Weather Service has announced a severe weather watch. Now this is the next question following the one I just read. When may you send a distress signal on any frequency? A, never. B, in a life or property threatening emergency. C, only at specific times at 15 and 30 minutes after the hour. D, when the National Weather Service has announced a severe weather watch. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
KD9QVB, B as in Bravo.
You are correct, Brian. You are correct. When may you send a distress signal on any frequency? Correct answer is B, Bravo, in real life or property is threatening an emergency. You know, on this book here, they don't have the explanations like the ARRL does, but this is an old book. This was published back in the 90s. We're talking about novice. Let's see if I can find any more here. Oh boy. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's see if we get any more checks. Any more stations wishing to check in the Friday Night Fun Net, please call now.
There, I thought I'd mention that, and I think the other hams that have been talking will go along with me, but out of the, I think 300 or 700 questions there's really only half. There's just like you give the example now. They're worded just a little bit different, but have the same ending. And the other thing is that common sense will answer most of the questions. So anybody that wants to get in, if they go to the ALR or the QRZ, take the practice test one time without even reading the book. You probably could pass it if you use common sense, in my deal.
Okay, the Richard, that sounds good. Yes, thanks very much for that information there. Tell you what, folks, I think that's going to do it for the trivia tonight. We did a couple of novice questions and what have you, so we'll just yeah. Now you're talking. This book was published by Radio Shack back in the earlier mid-90s. All you need to get your first ham radio license. That book is no longer available, but I picked that up at the swap meeting social this back over a couple of months ago at Camp Winnebago. Okay, at this time, are there any more stations who'd like to check the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
Good evening, Jimmy, W9AXD Chad from Janesville.
KC9CFL checking in. Mike in Machesney Park.
Okay, on. W9AXD Chad in Janesville and KC9CFL. Mike in Rockton got you checked in. Mike, I'll get back to you in a few minutes there. W9AXD, I'm sure you will listen to this conversation, and I want to hear your input. What do you think?
I came in a little late, Jimmy, which I know the question for tonight, but what was the other conversation?
That's what we were talking about. There's lots of discussions back and forth about bringing them back to novice class. I know I'm going to put you down as in favor because you mentioned that during the last night's simplex net there. But that's what we were talking about. Several hams had differing ideas and what have you.
Yeah, I mean, don't make it too complicated, but the novice is far from complicated. But I would bring that back, at least to do, what I did, like I said last night on Simplex. To get you a technician, I think they ought to be able to take the novice written exam and then the tech written exam. At least. I mean, that way you can get the technician, have a little more technical knowledge, a little bit maybe. Although the tech builds on the novice, like every other license. So, but yeah, I guess I'm in favor of bringing that back. I haven't thought a great deal about it, but I don't think it's a bad idea.
Okay, sounds good. Here's how the vote's going so far. Let's see. It's 6-3, no. So I'm just doing a survey, but okay, that sounds good there. So I'll get back to you in a minute there, Chad. Mike, KD9CFL, what is going on with you?
Not much, just working, breathing in and out, taking care of the family. I got a couple new radios. I'm kind of playing with those, so that's good. I got a 991A on the way, so it should be here Monday. Can't wait, drooling over it already. And then I got another 817, which is great. Got a really nice deal on it. So that's all been happening. KC9CFL, back to next control.
Okay, sounds good, Mike. What do you think about bringing the novice class back to ham radio? Are you, I'm just doing a survey, are you in favor of it or not?
I don't know, I think the technician is easy enough. I mean, if you study for a couple of weeks, most people can pass the tech exam, so I just don't think it's needed, I do think that they should at some point bring back a code certification, which would be pretty cool to have, but beyond that, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Just hold on. Chad, what do you think of what Mike just said?
Yeah, I think the code, and that's what I said last night too, I think they should bring back the code requirement. I think that's good to know, and a lot of people still use it on HF. So, I mean, as far as the code part of it goes, I think that ought to come back in some way. Maybe not 20 words a minute, but have a couple of speeds. 5 words a minute, 13 words a minute, 10 words a minute, whatever you want to do. And the novice exam, like I said, I don't think that gives a whole lot more technical information, but at least one more exam is just that much more to study for. So I don't really have a really good concrete argument for what I'm saying, I guess. So maybe read between the lines, I guess, if you want, but I think the code for sure and the novice exam, I think it's good to have any bit of knowledge. You start out with something with the novice stuff, then you build on it for the technician. Gives a good foundation, at least. So back to you, Jimmy, WI9HF.
This is K9GCR of the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford, transmitting from Friday Night Fun Net Central here at Freeport. Okay, Chad, sounds good. Okay, just a minute. Okay, Mike, here's your radio nut joke. This is number 13, the 30 original radio nut joke. You know you're a radio nut when you're the only one in your family that understands the real meaning of CW. And you get stressed out if someone's CW transmission rate varies from 1 to 75 words per minute with no warning.
I always love the radio nut jokes, Jimmy. Thanks a lot. KC9 CFL will be monitoring.
Sounds good there, Mike. Thanks for checking in. You have a good evening. Chad, do you want me to check in Erica?
Stand by 1 second. Let me see. Let me ask her. She'll be right in. She'll check in on herself, on her own. So long as I got the mic down here, I'm just going to mention real quick, every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Boy, I've got to get in the habit of that. Thursday at 8 p.m., we changed the frequency a little bit for the Rock County Simplex Net, 146.415. Did that because Jimmy was having some local interference on 6.400, so we're now on 146.415. Every Thursday at 8 p.m. for the Rock County Simplex Net. It's going pretty well. Got a good discussion, and it does good to know how far Simplex goes, who you can hear, and all that. So if you're not doing nothing Thursday evening, go ahead and check in on 146.415 on the Rock County Simplex Net Thursday at 8. So I'm just waiting for Erica to get in here. So nothing else really this week, Jimmy, going on. No weather tonight, which is a good thing. So I thought she'd be coming in by now, but go ahead, Jimmy.
Hey, our good weather is coming back Sunday. Sunday's all next week. Low to mid 90s, heat index around 100. Get those fans and ACs going, folks.
You know, people complain about the hot weather, Jimmy, but, you know, I'd rather have this than, I know we had this discussion a couple weeks ago, but I'd rather have the hot weather than the snow and ice. So I'd much rather have that.
You and me both. Yes, sir. I always say, sure as hell beats 20 degrees below zero.
You know, I don't really mind the cold so much necessarily, because I wait for a bus in Janesville a lot. And, you know, I don't mind waiting in the cold because I can time it out pretty good because the bus system's pretty good here. But I just don't like dealing with the ice. That's my main problem about winter.
I hear you, Chad. I hear you. Okay, I'll tell you what. If Erica doesn't check in, I'll put her down as an honorary check-in.
Okay, yeah, she'll probably come in here eventually. I don't know what she's doing, but she's coming. She says so. I'll leave a spot for her. So thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate the net, and so I'll be in the background here to W9AXD.
Okay, you're welcome, Chad. Thanks for checking in. I'll in a few minutes I'll be mentioning the other nets in the area there. So okay, thanks for checking in, Chad. We have a Saturday evening Rancho net tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. You're on this repeater if you want to check in. So, well, catch you later. Have a good evening. K9RFD. Thanks for checking in the Friday Night Fun net.
I keep forgetting about that. I should check into that. So sounds good. Thanks to W9AXD.
Okay, sounds good. Any more stations wishing to check into the Friday Night Fun net, please call now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mention all the other nets in the area. In about 20 minutes at 10 o'clock, if you're able to pick up the 443.750 repeater in Chicago with a PL 114.8 plus altitude, you got the Night Watch net. That net runs 7 nights a week. I was able to get in a few days ago. Last night they weren't hardly coming in at all. The the rest of the week they were coming in pretty good. I was even able to check in. So again, that net gets underway at exactly 20 minutes at 10 o'clock. Night watch net, that runs 7 nights a week on 443.750 Repeater in Chicago. 114.8 plus. So I said, if you cannot get into the repeater, they do have EchoLink capability. And yes, Saturday evening rank tune net, tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. on this repeater. Net control usually chooses, let's see, I don't know who'll be net control tomorrow night. Let's see what happens. But net control usually chooses the topic. If you want to talk about that, fine. If you want to bring up something else, that's fine too. That's what I usually do. I usually bring up something else. And we go around about 3 or 4 times talking about different stuff. Well, that's what it's all about, rag chewing. Also, if you're able to pick up the 146.910 repeater in Milwaukee, well, technically that repeater is located in the New Berlin, Wisconsin. That repeater is a PL 127.3 minus offset. There is a Saturday night fun net. That net gets underway at 8 p.m. It used to start at 9 o'clock, but they changed it. As a result, I can't listen to that net anymore because that interferes with the Saturday evening rag chew net. But on that fun net, they talk about some of the topics they talk about. I wouldn't even dream of breaking them up on this net. You got to check in a certain way, like A through G, A through N. Well, that's like an example. They don't do it that way, but I'm just mentioning how they do it. So, okay. The Greene County Aries Races net meets every Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the 145-110 repeater in Monroe, the PL 123.0 minus offset. Scott at K9YI is net control. It's a combination of Aries Races and rag chew net, if you know what I mean. Just a minute. I just remembered something. Sunday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. on 3.905 megahertz, 7580 meters lower sideband. I think the statewide Aries net is run. Lloyd, KD9APW in Sterling is one of the net control operators. They call us different counties and like the different districts in Illinois. We're in IEMA Region 2. So, let's see. I think Scott will be one of the last net control operators. On the, let's see. Now, just hold on here. 167. Yeah, that's right. This net will get underway this coming Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on 3.905 megahertz, 7580 meters. The Whiteside County Aries net takes place at 8 p.m. on the 146.850 repeater in Sterling. That is PL of 114.8 minus offset. You shouldn't have any problem getting into that repeater. The antenna is located 300 feet in the air on Illinois State Police Troop 1 radio tower. Oh yes, I gotta mention this. Also at 8 p.m. on the 147.375 repeater in Belvedere. PL of 100.0 plus offset. Big Thunder Amps Radio Club net is held. Big Thunder Amps Radio Club holds its Sunday evening net. They just refurbished that repeater. That repeater is working good now. So I'm able to get in. Monday evenings at 7 p.m. on this repeater, we got the Monday night rah-rah info net. Let's see, I'll be net control this coming Monday night. Immediately following that, Larry K9KCT brings us CW practice. Then let's see, at 8 p.m. on the 146.970 repeater in Dixon, 82.5 minus offset. The Lee County Aries group holds its Monday evening net. Then at 8:30 p.m. on the 146.730 repeater account for the PL 100.0 minus offset. The Kishwaukee Amp Radio Club holds its Monday evening net. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on this repeater, we hold the Tuesday evening health check and the social net. Larry, let's see now. Wait a minute. Larry H9GO is net control. Although this past Tuesday it was Larry K9KGT. We asked everybody how they're doing health-wise. If anybody has TechNet traffic technical questions, or anybody else want to bring up anything before the net. Immediately following that net, Larry K9KGT has a Morse code practice. Although there was not any CW session this coming through tonight because the net went too long. Also at 7 p.m. on the 145.450 repeater in Janesville, PL 123.0 minus offset, the Rock County Public Service net airs. They're going back and forth between the Aries Races and the Public Service net. Well, it's going back to be the Public Service net. Then, okay, at 8:30 p.m., the guys down in Ogle County just started a brand new net. It's the Ogle County Amps Radio net. That net runs at 8:30 p.m. on the 147.165 repeater in Oregon, PL 146.2 plus offset. If they have time, they'll have a simplex net on 146.595. That's the Ogle County area simplex frequency. Then when they get done with that net, they'll switch back to the repeater, the 147.165 repeater for the Ogle County Amps Radio net for area Skywarn. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater, PL 114.8 plus offset. We have our weekly Stevenson County Aries net. I'm the net control station. I think we had 6 check-ins this past Wednesday night. At 7:30 p.m., the Greater Boyd Amps Radio Club holds its Wednesday evening net on the 147.120 repeater in Boyd, PL 123.0 plus offset. Then at 8 p.m. here in Freeport, 147.390 repeater, PL 114.8 plus offset. We have our Wednesday evening swap net. Runs from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. till all traffic is handled. Mel K9RFD the trustee of that repeater, and I share the duties of net control operator. He was net control this past Wednesday. I'll be net control next Wednesday. He brings us Amps Radio Newsline, 15-minute independent news broadcast of owned entirely the Amps Radio. Make sure you listen this coming Wednesday night. I'm sure that they'll have a lot of information about the Maui wildfires. I thought they would this past Wednesday was passed by, but no, they didn't say anything about, but they will this coming time. Okay, then of course now, Thursday evenings, of course, we got the Thursday evening health check and social, and then with yours truly, Jim K9 GCR. If Ricky is available, W9AXD, he'll do the Northern Illinois Skywarn trading net first. Then I'll do the health check and social net. So, okay, now, I forgot to do this last Friday night. At 8 p.m., Chad, W9I9HF, has the Rock County Simplex net. We've now moved, we are now changed frequencies. We are now on 146.415 megahertz. We are no longer on 146.400. Due to the fact that I can pick up terrible interference on that frequency here at this QTH. So we are now on 146.415. We had 4 stations Chad, of course. Let's see, W3MBX and Kevin, N9EGF. But I was able to copy everybody. Okay.
K9FLO.
Okay. Of course, also at 7 p.m. on Thursdays, on the 146.730 repeaters account, PL 100.0 minus offset, the Kishwaukee Ham Radio Club has their Skywarn and training net. So, okay, and also. On the senile that is held every day, Monday through Friday, between 1400 and 1500 hours Zulu, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 14.287 megahertz, 20 meters over sideband with Chuck WD9MED as your net control station. Okay, now you're all caught up to date in your local nets. Support your local net control operators, your local nets. Your member of any ham radio club, by all means support your local club and your local repeaters. At this time, any more stations wishing to check in the Friday Night Fun Net, please phone out.
K9FLO.
KD9VBX.
K3TLB.
KD9YSB.
Stand by hotline. This is K9G Charter Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater Robert. That was a K9IH checking in from LaSalle, Illinois, on the hotline. All right, Dean, I'll get back to you in a couple minutes. KD9VBX, Erica, what's going on with you?
Hey there, Jimmy, buddy. It's good to hear your voice. Not much. Enjoying the nicer weather than we expected, I guess. Not much planned for this weekend, but that's good because we've been kind of hectic. It's just back to the cleaning out, organizing, getting ready for the family affair the following Saturday. So that's kind of what's going on around here. I can smell wildfire from Canada down here. It smells like, like a campfire or fireworks, and I know no neighbors have been doing fireworks recently, so it's kind of weird, but it could be worse smelling. Back to net.
Yeah, well, you see that haze too. I don't smell it here at this location, but okay, sounds good. Erica, thanks for checking in. I want to get to Dean K9FLO. You have a good evening. Thank you for checking in the Friday Night Fun Net. K9FLO, Dean, what's going on with you? And by the way, Kurt has not checked in tonight.
Should I run down to the other end of the street and pound on his door there, Jimmy?
I don't care. You can do that if you want to. Dean, I was asking a question tonight. What do you think about bringing back the novice class ham radio operator? What do you say, the ham radio? What do you say about that?
I think it's fine. I believe. To be honest, I didn't even know they didn't have it anymore. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the purpose it would serve. That I assume at the tech test they take out, I believe it's called that. Well, of course, the original novice test, you had to know code. And if that was the case, and you had code on there too, that might not be a bad deal either. Give it a little more challenge to the skill set there, Jimmy.
Okay, well, Larry at AC9GO in Rockford, I should say, had an article in the Hamrag magazine. I don't know if you're able to get that or not, probably on your internet. But he was just making a suggestion. He says taking the test for technicians is more or less like to become, getting to be like it used to be way back in the day, many years ago. He suggested bringing back the novice class. That way, that give an idea of the younger people of today, maybe give them a challenge to get into this hobby of amateur radio.
Yeah, of course, it'd be a good idea too. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, the novice was entry level, as you remember, learning the code, and then you could take the test locally, if I remember right. But gosh, years ago, you used to have to go into Chicago to take the test, even for the tech, I think. It's been a while. Sorry, memory's a little weak on that now. You know, I think it's probably better if a QST magazine would drop their price back down or include it with a membership again. I'd rather see that happen again there, Jimmy. KC9GCR, K9FL.
Yeah, you know, now one of the hands was, I agree with you there. One of the hands was saying there too that it would, that anybody that was 18 or under taking their test, that should be they should not have to pay for it. That should be free.
You know, if I remember one time, there was a period of time where there was no fee on it, and there was some ruling on it that said there wouldn't be one at one time. But of course, that all changes with each political party, I guess. So yeah, I don't think it'd be a bad idea, especially if they would bring the code back. But I doubt it, because we don't do that across around the world, and I don't think many of the countries given up the code. So, and it's not really a big deal anymore. Anything we can do to bring up the interest, make people more involved into it. Of course, our clubs are very important for that part of it. I know when we have our field day event, like up at Rock County, we have had a number of guests stopping in. We try to get information out locally, and we have had people show up, walk in, and want some brochures handed out and good type stuff, so they can appreciate it. And I've never seen it before. And we actually had, I believe, 2 that did make it to the field day event, got their license, and so that's a pretty good deal. There, Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Stand by, Dean. Hold on there. I gotta do something. This is KC9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Central in Freeport. It is now 10 p.m. curfew time. Parents, do you know where your children are at? Lockdown, lockdown. Winnebago County Jail. At this very moment, Winnebago County Jail is going into lockdown. Kerry, K9MED was telling me he was listening to the jail frequencies on the scanner. Every time at 10 p.m. every night, the dispatch radios all the corrections officers, lockdown. Winnebago County Jail is going into lockdown for the night. All the jailbirds are being put to bed. Nighty-night, good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, okay, K9FLO, yeah, go ahead.
We did good. Now they all can go to bed. All right, yeah, Jimmy, can't think of anything else as far as that goes. We're still getting people coming in, getting licensed, and of course, there's a percentage that are probably no longer active. That's just the nature of it. In other words, we're getting old and can't remember how to turn the radio on, things like that. Otherwise, nice day today. Very nice. I did some painting today. Had to do some outdoor painting, so finish up a project, kinda, I guess, preparation for winter. And that was probably my big excitement. And and went up to Menards, the other men's club. So other than AES or HRO, of course, the Menards is one of the men's club too. There, Jimmy, go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. I heard the fox hunt was kind of so-so. I guess they finally had to give up on it. They couldn't find it, or something else happened, huh?
No, this last one, as far as I know, there were two that found it. It was a real good hide, and I believe there were two of them that found it. So that's on that one. I could be wrong on that. I really didn't hear the results on this one, but I was thinking somebody had mentioned that it was clear up in the northern part of Rock County, so it was a pretty and we have ours set up now to where you can hide it anywhere. It's no longer restricted to like public property or anything like that. Now it can be if you have access to it behind somebody's house or something like that, or just about anywhere. So yeah, I think there was. I thought there was a couple. I could be wrong on it. You probably have more correct information on that than I do. On that, Jimmy.
I thought I heard Kevin W9AXD mention some about that, but I may have misunderstood. Well, I'll tell you what. I think I'll believe you. I think your fox hunt was a success. So that's good to hear.
Well, regardless, it seems to be picking up popularity. It's a good thing. It's kind of fun to do, and it's easy to do now that Mother Nature is still cooperating with us. Now in another 3 months, that might be a different story, and we'll have to wear snowshoes and things like that. Let's hope not. But it's a good summer project, and I think people get a lot out of it. Some good experience too. We hope we never have to use it, the skill set from it, but you may have a situation where somebody is lost or something like that. I guess that could fall into that there, but in some other events or whatever. So anyway, Jimmy, I'm gonna jump out of here after my bedtime, and I'm losing my voice. KC9GCR, K9FLO.
Okay, Dean, that sounds good. I'm going to get ready to wrap up the net for the night anyway. So that sounds good. You have a good evening. Thanks for checking in. This is K9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9RFD Repeater in Rockford. Transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Central and Freeport. Are there any more stations we want to check in? Please call now.
KD9YSB.
Okay. On beside KD9Y and come back with the rest of the call, please.
YSB. B is in Bravo.
Yankee and question mark Bravo.
Sierra.
KD9YSB, good evening. I don't know if I talked to you before or not, but anyway, welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net. This time meets each every Friday evening at 8 p.m. on this repeater. What is happening with you?
Oh, thanks. This is Michael in Rockford. I've just been enjoying listening to you guys talking. I think it's a really good topic tonight. Back to net control.
Oh yeah, that was a really good topic. There was someone, Larry, H9GO in Rochester was writing an article in the Rockford Hamrack, Rah-Rah's monthly publication there about, he suggested we bring back the novice class at ham radio. That's what we were talking about. I'm glad you got to hear that. So, well, again, welcome to this hobby. It won't be long. We'll be starting to hear the new Kilo Echo 9 calls. I've got the feeling when Tony gets his license in the next few days, he's one of the two high school kids that took and passed their test 2 weeks ago tomorrow. I got the feeling that might be he might get one of the very first Kilo Echo 9 calls. We'll be looking forward to hearing it from him on the Friday Night Fun Net. KD9YSB, are you still with us?
Copy, yes. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you were passing it back over to me. Yeah, this is my first time checking in on the net here. I'm new ham myself, about a couple weeks back, and I've been really enjoying it. And I picked up a lot of gear I'm having fun tinkering with. But back on the subject of the net here, yeah, I think a lot of it is outreach. I think there's so much kids are distracted with these days, even younger people, not just kids. But there's so much going on with social media that everything's grabbing for their attention. I think really you kind of, and some kids aren't, it's not their thing. But I think for those that are, really kind of giving them the opportunity and showing them what can be done, and maybe getting involved with the school or something like that would be beneficial. As for bringing novice back, I don't think it's necessary unless there was some additional resources that could be applied to it, not just to get samples, to kind of make it easier to get the foot in the door, as it were.
Okay, sounds good. I understand. Okay, sounds like you're using an HT there, because towards the end of your transmission, your signal started to go there. So, on the September QST magazine, there's an article on the front page of Ham Radio Goes to High School. They went to a high school in Pennsylvania. They have a ham radio club. 75 students are involved. They started this several years ago. It tells how they got started, built up the station. And some of the former students there said they liked the idea, so that's what's happening too.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I am on a handheld. I'm not usually used to transmitting at that long, so I wasn't sure it would go out like that. So, all right, back to you, net control. Thanks.
You're welcome, 73. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. We had a station from Canada visiting us, Victor Echo 3, Sierra Romeo. Just He lives just outside of Toronto, Ontario. So that he was a first-time check-in too. Hey, 7-3. Hopefully, maybe we'll catch you next week at this time. Have a good evening, and we have other nets in there if you want to check in. Just give a listen. You're welcome to check into these. I run some of these nets too. 7-3, K9G Sierra McClure. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net.
KD9YSB 73.
Okay, do we have any more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, I would like to thank Dan, N9DCH, the trustees of the repair, and the members of the 195 group for allowing us to use this repair to host the Friday Night Fun Net. I'm going to run down the list of stations who've checked in so far. Myself, K9GC, our net control. My short time station, 89Y, 89VU, K9 and KWR, N9SVJ, and K9QPL, and H9NW, N9DLB, and the K9SAZ. Now, okay, these are my 7 short time stations. Okay. These are the regular checks, KD9YBG, KD9MED, KD9MED, who's recording this, live streaming this net on the internet, recording it for future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. W9AXD, K9RGG, Victor Echo 3, Sierra Romeo from Canada. K9GOL, KD9QVB, Brian. N9ZXK Bob, about a mile west of me. K9EPZ, N9ZO, Richard in Belvedere. Thanks for checking in. K9YHC, W9AXD, K9CFL, K9FLO, KD9VBX, and my hotline, Friday Night Fun Net hotline check-in. K9IH in LaSalle, H in LaSalle, and KD9YSB. Okay, I had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 25 on-air check-ins, 1 and Friday Night Fun and online check-in. We have any more stations who want to check in, please call now. I almost forgot. I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. If you want, this net will be posted in a few minutes after I sign off here. You can listen to this net, those of you who are just joining us, or you can listen to past editions of the net. You listen to the Friday Night Fun Net every night of the week. Let's say it's 3 in the morning, you can't sleep. I said, I'm going to turn on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page and listen. Maybe that'll put me to sleep. If this net doesn't put you to sleep, I don't know what will. But you can listen to the Friday Night Fun Net all day, every day, or all night, every night. Friday night, every night of the week. Okay. Then I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline, area code 815-232-FNFN. 2Z23636, local Freeport number. You just heard that phone ring a few minutes ago. It's a real telephone ring, folks. Not that phony cell phone ring. You see pictures of it on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. That's a real desktop, touch-tone telephone. Red telephone. So, okay, I didn't mention on the Facebook page. Go to Friday Night Fun Net Central, type in the instructions, and then you're in business. Okay. Now I'm going to do my honorary check-in. Let's see. N9ARB. Tony, REC here in Freeport. His better half, Tracy. N9EAB. Tracy, 83 honorary check-in. And we mustn't forget the beautiful Kishwaukee River Yacht Club south of Rockford. Scott, A, Silver Fox. Okay, and Justin. K9FDO. HC honorary check-in. Oh yeah. K9KZT. Larry, HC honorary check-in. I think I better do a AC9GO. Larry, HC honorary check-in. W9RLT. Ricky, the host of the Northern Illinois Sky Warning Net. Whenever we get severe weather, let me reset. Okay. I'm going to do my Stevenson County check-ins. KD9 LOA, Brandon and Lena, HC honorary check-in. KD9OVJ, John and McConnell, HC honorary check-in. This is his night to work at 11th Ambulance Service in Lena. He's a firefighter, EMT. Then I got to check in George. N9 WSQ. George is our club president. Has his own repeater, 147-300 in Dakota, PL 88.5 plus offset. Okay, let's see who else. I gotta think. Okay, one moment, please. All right, who else? KC9ICH, Robert, HC honor and check-in. KD9MED, HC honor and check-in. W9AXD Kevin, HC honorary check-in. AC9KZ Mike, HC honorary check-in. Oh. Okay. Okay, I got 40 check-ins so far. Do we have any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, at this time, I'm going to read the actress code. 1, the actor is considerate. He never knowingly uses the air in such a way as to lessen the pleasure of others. 2, the actor is loyal. He offers his loyalty encouragement and support to his fellow radio amateurs, his local club, and to the American Radio Relay League, to which amateur radio is represented. 3. The amateur is progressive. He keeps the station abreast of science. He is well-built and efficient. His operating practice is above reproach. 4. The amateur is friendly. Slow and patient sending when requested. Friendly advice and counsel to the beginner. Kindly assistance, cooperation, and consideration for the interests of others. These are marks of the amateur spirit. 5. The amateur is balanced. Radio is his hobby. He never allows it to interfere with any of his duties he owes to his home, his job, his school, or his community. 6. And finally, number 6, the amateur is patriotic. His knowledge and his station are always ready for the service of his country and his community. That's the amateur's code. As Tony, K9RFD, our EC here in Stevenson County says, something to live by not only on the radio, but throughout life itself. Okay, at this time, we have any more stations who would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net. Before I proceed to close it down, please call now. Okay. Sure you tell your mothers, your fathers, and sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles, your nieces, your nephews, your grandparents, your in-laws, your neighbors, cross street, down street, next door. Be sure you tell your butcher, your baker, your candlestick maker. Be sure to tell the clerk behind the checkout counter of your grocery store. Be sure to tell the clerk behind the counter at your convenience store. Be sure you tell your waiters, your waitresses, or your bartenders at your friendly neighborhood bars, restaurants, taverns, or pubs. Be sure you tell the clerk behind the counter at your local post office when you buy your stamps or envelopes. Be sure you tell your bank teller when you go to cash your checks or what have you. Be sure you tell your priests, your ministers, your rabbis, your mullahs, your ayatollahs, or your imams. Be sure you tell the members of your local PTA or PTO. Be sure you tell your new car dealer, your used car dealer, your garage mechanic. Okay, be sure you tell your probation officer, your parole officer, or your divorce lawyer. Be sure you tell your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your ex-boyfriends, your ex-girlfriends, your husbands, your wives, your ex-husbands, your ex-wives, your ex-in-laws, and of course your old ladies about the Friday Night Fun Net. The more check-ins, the better than that. Make sure you have valid FCC license before you check in. Sorry, folks, we do not take check-ins from jailbirds, jammers, potty mouths, crackheads, dopeheads, potheads, telemarketers. If you sit in the clubhouse, take a knee or clench your fist when the national anthem is being played, we don't take your check-ins. If you don't back the blue, we don't take your check-ins. That's as plain and simple as that. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this successful Friday Night Fun Net tonight. Great discussions, great arguments. Both sides were heard. By the way, the results of the survey: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 no, and 3 yes. As far as bringing back the novice class, unofficial survey, folks, don't worry about it. It was all in fun. That's what this net is all about, to have fun. So I want to thank everybody for checking in. With that, this is the last call for any stations that want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region. With or without traffic, please call K9 GCR. Last call for Ratchet-Jaw. Okay, tune in again next week, same time, same repeater, for another edition of the Friday Night Fun Net. Until then, this is Jim, K9 GCR, now closing down this Friday, August 18, 2023 edition of the Friday Night Fun Net, and return the repeater that brings in normal amateur radio use at 10:25 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 3 hours, 25 minutes Zulu time, with an unofficial count of 40 check-ins. I may be adding 2 more before the night's over. 7-3, everybody. Have a good evening. This is K9 GCR. Wishing you all a happy evening to all, and to all a good night. K9 GCR, be clear. KD9MED, KD9MED, K-Sun G-Sharp.
KD9MED.
Go ahead and post it, Mike. Thanks for all you do. 2 hour, 25-minute net, unofficial count of 40 check-ins.
All right, copy that, Jimmy. I'll go ahead and post it. Clear on your final there. This is KD9MED.
Thanks, Mike, for all you do. Talk to you next Friday. K-Sun G-Sharp with Clerk. Good night.